What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rip City Rundown, and we've got our first, at least my first, game review of the entire year. I know we're Rip City Rundown, but it's been hard to kind of keep up with the Blazers this year, just given the fact that we suck. We're 4-12. This game is a full resemblance of how the Blazers have been this year, and then obviously the engagement hasn't been as good. So we really wanted to save our thoughts and give most of our thoughts that we have on the podcast, save it for the podcast each week. So today we're going to be talking about the Bucks, the Blazers. Damian Lillard's first game against the Blazers. This was not his return to Portland. This was just his first game versus the Blazers. Still no Anthony Simons for the Blazers, so that kind of sucked. Really, the only player Dame played with for majority, for multiple years was Anthony Simons. So him not playing kind of sucked. He's obviously still rehabbing. He should be back here in a couple weeks. Jeremy Grant obviously played with Dame, but other than that, none of these guys really played with Dame. Thibault, Jabari Walker here and there. But the biggest storyline coming into this game was Damian Lillard, and the biggest storyline leaving this game, I would still say, is Damian Lillard. He puts up 31 in a win. Giannis puts up 33 in a win. And the Blazers blow a 26-point lead, and I believe that 26-point lead came completely in the second half. I believe we were up 81-55. At one point. That's just kind of the story of this season. I'm not expecting wins or losses. If you follow our Instagram, you saw the caption. I'm not expecting wins or losses. I'm not going to get mad at wins or losses. But when you're gifted a game versus a player that used to play for a team and you're at 26 points in the second half, you take your wins when you can get them, because this team is not going to win many games. For those saying, oh, it's good if we won this game, it would have ruined our lottery chances, that's just not the case. That's just not how the NBA works. We're going to be in the top 3 of the lottery no matter what. Same odds for all top 3. So don't need to worry about that. But it just would have been a nice just boost in morale. It would have been good to just beat Damian Lillard. And I'm not even a Damian Lillard hater. If anybody is in Portland, then you're crazy. Why should you hate Damian Lillard? There's no reason to do so. But human nature says you still want to beat the team and the player that used to be on your team. So Dame obviously has 31. We don't want to talk about him that much, but it was really just weird watching him play on the other team. He had multiple just vintage 3 step backs. He had that one near the end that he missed against Brogdon where he did that step back 3 and just stepped back the soul out of Malcolm Brogdon. I'm surprised he missed that one. And then I think this game comes down to, quite frankly, Chauncey. I don't want to give Chauncey a bad rap. I don't want to give him a good rap either. I'm still so neutral on Chauncey, which sucks because it's our 3rd year and I'm still neutral on him and I don't know how to feel. But that's just the reality of the situation. He hasn't been given a good opportunity to succeed. And I don't think he will next year. And maybe he won't the year after that. And if that's the case, then that's just giving a coach a 5-year deal like this, when you're half rebuild, half not, and then full rebuild come year 3, it's just a sign that just weird. We didn't know what we were doing when Joe Cronin was assigned the GM role fully. But Chauncey just didn't look great tonight. The inefficiency, the lack of timeouts when the Bucks continued to make runs was a little disheartening. But I think the storyline, the biggest takeaway from a Blazers perspective, Scoot Henderson. I mean, this is the most minutes he's played since his return from injury, 27, and he has 13 points. He was 3 of 4 from 3. I believe this is the most threes he's hit in a game this year. There was one point where he was 3 for 3 from 3 in the first half. He started off great. I said on Twitter it would be great if this was the Scoot Henderson breakout game coming into this game. While I don't think this was his breakout game, I think this was the closest thing he's had to it. To be able to play like that in the first half against Dame was very encouraging. He obviously got up for this game a little more than he has in the past. I'm still getting used to the goggles. I'm not sure how I feel. I don't think I like it. I think it makes him look a little nerdy, but I don't think that's a long-term thing he'll have there. And then overall, just inefficiency from the Blazers. I mean, Sharp 7 of 19, Brogdon 7 of 23, Jeremy Grant 7 of 18. I mean, Jeremy Grant is just hucking shots at this point. He hit a good 3, or he hit a big 3 down the stretch, but he turned the ball over 4 times. Sharp turned it over 3 times. That starting lineup all were in the negatives in a plus-minus sense, which again makes sense because we are playing one of the best teams in the league in the Bucks. But that just shows that it was Scoot Henderson and when he was on the floor when we were really taking it to the Bucks. But like I said at the start, this is just kind of just exactly how I thought this season was going to go. And it's really just, this game is a good resemblance of how the season has gone so far. We've seen some good basketball. We don't win games. And even when we really want to win the game, we just don't do it. So it's kind of like when we were in the in-season tournament. Those are the games you really want to win, and we played some bad basketball other than that first Grizzlies game. But this was just disappointing, man. There's only been a few games this entire year that I've really wanted to win, and this was one of them. And to hook me in like that, to not win the game, really sucks. How weird was it to see Dame in an opposing team uniform? I mean, he was the guy down the stretch. He deferred, obviously, more than he would in a Blazer uniform because he has Giannis on his team. He's got Brook Lopez. He's got Bobby Portis, guys like that can knock down shots down the stretch. But, man, I won't say he looked amazing because he still is inefficient. He still hasn't really found his rhythm because the Bucks are just a really not gross team. They're a weird team because obviously this offense is unstoppable when Dame and Giannis are cooking, but that defense is so bad. They obviously clamped down in the fourth quarter, or in the second half, only giving up 34 second half points after giving up 37 in the first half. But I think that's also just because the Blazers are just not that good of a team, just quite frankly. I really, how many times am I going to say really wanted to use the Terry Stotts meme of him drinking the beer in the post-game Instagram post, but obviously I couldn't because we lost, so I missed that opportunity to use that earlier in the year or earlier in the game. So other than that, I just really am just waiting for Anthony Simons to be back because once Anthony Simons will come back and once we have a little bit more stability offensively, once Scoot gets his legs underneath him a little more, this will be a more fun team to watch because right now I just don't have fun watching Blazer games. So that's the unfortunate reality. And we got bigger things in the city of Oregon, or the city of Portland and the state of Oregon, especially if you're a Ducks fan. We got the Pac-12 championship coming this Friday. Make sure to tune in to Waking Up with Wes this week as we will preview the Pac-12 championship. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Blazers lose 108-102. Comment your thoughts below. Is this a coaching thing? Is this just the fact that we just don't have as much talent? And what did you think about seeing Dame in an opposing uniform? See you guys next time. Peace.